After the event of the Shibuya Incident, a curse has been placed upon every human in Japan. In the hopes of forcing the evolution of human beings all throughout the country, Kenjaku has orchestrated the Culling Games. Darwinism in its truest sense, the Culling Games is where sorcerers and non-sorcerers must battle each other to the death to gain points and survive. The game will take place in 10 colonies across Japan, with each of these 10 colonies being connected by barriers that form a line with one another. To participate in the Culling Games, players must enter these colonies and then abide by the 8 rules that govern the game. Rule number 1 states that after awakening a curse technique, players must declare their participation in the Culling Games at a colony of their choice within 19 days. Rule number 2 states that if anyone breaks rule number 1, their curse technique will be removed, presumably resulting in their death. Characters like Maki who don't have curse techniques may be considered a loophole in all of this, but for now, we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. Rule number 3 says that even if you accidentally enter any of the colonies, whether you're a sorcerer or a civilian, you have no other choice but to play. NANI? Rule number 4 and 5 break down the point system of the game. You gain points by killing your opponents, with sorcerers being worth 5 points and non-sorcerers being worth 1 point. Rule number 6, excluding the point value of a player's own life, players may use 100 points to negotiate with the game master to add one new rule to the Culling Game. However, rule number 7 states that the new rule added to the game cannot affect the original rules of the game or extend the length of the Culling Game itself. Nevertheless, the game master must accept any new rule added to the game. Finally, the last rule says that if any participant score remains the same for the duration of the game, they will be subject to curse technique removal. Some additional things to include are, people who are inside the area before the game starts have the option to leave. However, if they enter any of the 10 colonies, they are forced to participate. And the Game Master, which is the game's program, oversees the game and the points, not Kenjaku. Speaking of which, what's the point of the Culling Games? Well, we already mentioned Kenjaku's survival of the fittest methodology. However, Kenjaku's plan of evolving humans relied heavily on Tenjin, or rather, merging with Tenjin. Since the merging with the Star Plasma vessel was stopped, Tenjin has descended to a higher state, marking him a target for cursed spirit manipulation. But more importantly, any human who merges with Tenjin will be able to transform into something greater than the sorcerer. Thus, the boundary between man and curses vanishes, and evil will spread around the globe. In short, the purpose of the Culling Game is to initiate the merging process to pass humans over to the other side, with the game using the cursed energy gathered from the players as the conduit for all of it, achieving what Kenjaku wants the most, chaos that even he cannot control. Will the sorcerers be able to free Gojo from the prison realm? Will the sorcerers be able to convince Hana Kurusu, an ancient sorcerer having the ability to erase curse techniques, to help them out? With the Culling Game's rules in place, the only option is to participate. And that was the Culling Games explained in a nutshell. Now that we're caught up to the manga, expect more regular Jujutsu Kaisen content on this channel. My name is DJ Milez, and as I always say, take care.